Hello everyone, this is IGC Tarple IX bringing you another guide for Diablo 3. This time we're looking at the new Human Bowling Ball Demon Hunter build, as well as a Inferno Act 1 Magic Find run. So let's get it started. Alright, so to set up for the Magic Find portion of this, what you're going to want to do is make sure you go to Inferno Difficulty Act 1, scroll down to the Imprisoned Angel, and go to the Cursed Hold quest. That should set you up for the Magic Find run. I'll explain on the way. But first, I kind of want to talk about this fun, awesome new build for the Demon Hunter, where you literally turn yourself into a bowling ball. Your skill sets, you'll be using multi-shot with suppression fire to get your discipline back. The way it works is every time you hit somebody, you get more, so the more people you hit, the better. Smoke screen with lingering fog, just in case you get into a tight spot. Your main one will be Vault with Trail of Cinders. It leaves fire every time you vault behind you, and I believe the damage is 1500% of your weapon damage. Shadow Power with Gloom so that you take less damage, so you can turn it on, vault in, and vault out, and you'll be just fine. And Preparation so you can instantly get back your discipline if you're really running low. Here are the ones I like to use: Archery and Sharpshooter, of course, for damage buffs, and Perfectionist because 4 out of the 6 skills you're using are defensive spells, and it makes them cost a little bit less. I mean, as you can see, my gear, it may look good, but looking at the stats itself, I have almost no resistances for Inferno. My armor is pretty low. My armor and stuff is pretty much made for Gold Find. But the main part that you do want to have if you're going to try this out are the Firewalker Legendary Boots. I managed to get mine for 1 mil off of the auction house. Mine have Gold Find on it, but of course you guys can get something better. But pretty much the FX burns enemies to the ground is just amazing. But on to the run. Here you see the bowling ball actually working. The boots that I have on are actually what caused the fire when I'm just regularly walking, and it does a little bit of damage, but it's not really that much. But when added on with the trail of cinder that gets left behind you when you vault, it's an insane amount of damage. And I've gotten damages anywhere between 50,000 to 100,000 and up, depending on criticals. Here's a good example of it. You vault in, vault out. I took out a elite unit right there, messing around with it. But I mean, it's a lot of fun. Half the time, if you line them up properly, you don't even have to shoot your weapon at them, you know. But onto the run here, we came to the Festering Woods in Act 1. What we're trying to do is get the Nephilim Valor stacks. With the new 1.04 patch that came out, we kind of reworked the way the leveling system works on here. You now get Paragon levels after level 60, and each Paragon level you get, you know, your regular stats, strength, dex, vitality, all that. But on top of it, you also get 3 Magic Find and 3 Gold Find. What that means is once you hit level 100 of the Paragon, you will hit the max allowed Magic and Gold Find of 300%. But to get there, it is going to take you a very long time. I mean, I've been playing for like a week straight now, and I think I'm only at level 7 Paragon level, I believe. But yeah, pretty much you just walk around the Festering Woods. I use the Vault just to move faster. With Preparation, you don't really have to worry about running out too much. And when you get into a big group of enemies, like this room right here, you see how they all just melt when they're standing in that fire. So best thing to do is you vault in. If you're running low, you can go ahead and spray them a couple times with the multi-shot. And you saw how quick it brought back my discipline enough to where I could at least vault out if I needed to. You know, and don't be afraid sometimes when you go vaulting in like that to just stand there and take a couple pot shots to refill your hatred as you go, because you do need hatred to use the multi-shot in the first place. But moving on, go into both of those caves that you saw me go into. There's almost always an elite pack in there, and you see this poor goblin. He got stuck in a corner in the fire. I only had to do it once. I didn't even shoot him, and he just died. Um, but normally the Festering Woods is probably the best and fastest way to get 5 stacks of Nephilim Valor. Um, the Nephilim Valor still works the same as before the new patch. You get, once you have 5 stacks, you have an extra 75% Magic Find and Gold Find, but now you also get 75% extra experience, which is really, really useful when you're trying to level up these Paragon levels, because I'm telling you, it just takes forever. But here I'm just looking around. Normally you can find anywhere from 3 to 5 packs when you're doing this, and just in the Festering Woods alone. So then once you get 3 to 5 stacks, you're good to go on to the next part, which is really the main place you want to go to. I'm just here looking around trying to see if I can find another one. But there are a few mobs that people say are really, really troublesome for the bowling ball build. And the most obvious one would be reflect damage. Well, we all know how annoying reflect damage is. You shoot them, you got enough damage, you kill yourself. And it happens half the time without even people noticing with the Demon Hunter, because they'll see something coming up on the corner of their screen and just start shooting at it without even looking at what it does. With this build, the one spell, the Power Gloom, it's actually pretty cool, because not only does it reduce your damage that you take when you turn it on, but while for the 3 seconds that it is on, you gain back health as you do damage. And I'm not quite sure how much of it is, but if you manage to line up enough enemies with your trail of fire that you leave behind after you turn that on, and volt around just a couple times, try to get them lit up as much as you can, the health that you gain back is beyond what the reflect damage does to you. So normally you can even it out or even come out on top on health when you're fighting against reflect damage. Another thing to watch out for, it actually gets me later on in this video because I wasn't really paying attention to it, is the Molten. Here you see a fire chain one. I'm just vaulting right through the fire chains, just melting them. But the Molten, they explode. And I seem to have a hard time grasping that concept, that after these things die, they leave a fireball, and the fireball will kill you. I don't know why that's so hard for me to grasp sometimes, but it is. And you get to see it later. It's actually kind of funny. I actually vault into the fireball like as soon as it explodes. So, but here we went to, after you get your Nephilim stacks from the Festering Woods, there's a couple other places you can go to. Honestly, when you're farming, you really want to just kill as much stuff as possible. But I find it more effective just to try and run past as much of the small monsters as possible, and by that I just mean the regular monsters sitting around, whatever they are. And actually try to find all the elite packs, because with the way they reworked the new patch, I know I keep bringing it up, but the new patch is just so amazing. Every elite pack that you have, that you kill, if you have 5 stacks of Valor, you get at least 1 rare item. Almost guaranteed. If you have enough Magic Find, like I was saying Gold Find earlier, if you have enough Magic Find like I have set up on mine, you have a good chance to get a lot of really, really good drops really fast if you just go from elite to elite. Now here you just saw me take on an elite pack that was reflect damage and arcane, deadly combo normally, because those sentries are really bad. You just have to watch where you're vaulting against that. But the reflect, you saw how much damage it was doing to me and how much I was getting back at the same time. My health was barely moving until I ran into the laser beam. Those frickin' beams, man. But you just want to keep on going through this Magic Find run until you get to Highlands Passage. Um, Once you get past all these little monsters, I just turn around with the vault. You just kind of just keep on going with it. So when stuff dies, you want to make sure you look to see if they drop anything. Any monster can drop anything. It's just that the elites have a higher chance, which is why I say you want to try to get to them faster, take them out, and keep on moving. Um, but the elite monster packs now, they are amazing to kill, man. I mean, some of them, I guess Blizzard thought they were giving a little bit too hard into the hardcore gamers, so they kind of nerfed the monsters a little bit, their damage. But it's still fun to just run around and kill everything. Once you get down here, you'll be given a quest to free a bunch of spirits. And after you do that, you just walk around. I like to just go around the whole outside first, kill as much elite packs as possible. There you saw me die to the explosion. For some reason, I just don't understand that those things, when they die, they explode. I don't know why. As long as I've been playing this, you think I would run away from them or something, but I just let them kill me every time. Um, Anyways, but you see here, they dropped, for one pack that I killed in about 10 seconds, they dropped 4 rare items. And I think with my Nephilim, I'm up to I want to say 320 magic find. So I think the max after Nephilim is 375 now. I believe you can't get any higher than that. And once you have the 100 Paragon level, like I was talking about earlier, you don't need magic find gear at all. You can focus your character completely on being a badass, and you'll still be able to farm as good as everyone else, if not better, because you'll be killing stuff so fast by then. Your stats will be really good. You'll have so much health. I'm kind of concerned that when people get to that level, this game is gonna kind of die off, because it's not gonna be as hard as it was before the Paragon levels. When everybody was trying to grind for gear and trying to, there was a lot of issues because there was some skills that they buffed. I mean, pretty much every skill. Um, the Trail of Cinders, for example, was the main one. The Demons Hunters got buffed. They got a few other ones, but I don't even like to use them. Multi-shot got a good buff on it. I mean, you can see the damage it's doing to a lot of enemies at once. So the skill is pretty good. On top of the discipline, regen, it's great. Here you see another reflect damage mob. I didn't turn on my gloom, but there you go, I turned it on, and you notice my health just equalizing as I'm taking them out. There you go. Yeah, you just walk around, free all 6 spirits, keep killing all the elites. I like to pick up only the rare items. I used to pick up a lot of blues, but the way you find them now, it's kind of just starts taking up spots in your inventory, and you really do find a lot of rares. And it's not just that you find a lot of rares like that. It's just the blue ones don't really give you that much gold if you sell them to the store. You can't really put them on the auction house. Nobody's gonna buy them with everybody farming all the yellows. And if you go through it fast enough, um, eventually, if you pick up all the blues and the golds, you're gonna end up running back to town 4 or 5, maybe even 6 times in one run, and that's just taking up a lot of your time to have to do all that. Identify it, sell it, and end up not really getting much for them in the end. So for me, I just like to pick up the golds and keep on going. If I get full, I go back to town, drop them in my stash, just as they are unidentified, go back in and keep on going. I mean, there are some things like crafting plans that come out that are sometimes blue. Those you want to keep an eye out for, especially the jewel crafter ones. I found one the other day for a one of the stars, and I almost ran right past it because it shows up as a blue item. But after you free all the spirits, you go to the middle, and the guy I just killed um, will pop out after a few seconds after you stand in the center, and you just saw how quick as a mini boss how fast he died to the vaults. This is probably like the best part right here. This is true bowling. Line them up and just go right through them. Those poor monsters. And you just keep on going down until you get to the butcher. And here I see my stash is getting full. Figured I'd picked up too much junk. Yeah, pretty much you just want to run through here. I think I do take one trip back to town to make room for items, and then I just come right back to this spot and just keep on going. But you see here I'm just trying to find the elite packs, just running through, spraying down everybody. um, I mean, like I said, as long as you're careful and you actually pay attention to what you're rolling into, you can survive really well with this build, mainly just because of your discipline. If you can maintain good control of your discipline and always have preparation cooldown so that in case you need it, you can, pop it and get out before anything happens, then this build is just extremely fun. It's just too funny to me to come up to an elite pack that normally would one or two shot you and just roll around in front of their face and laugh and run away, and they all just sit there and die. I think it's just great. In a sense, it kind of reminds me of the Barbarians Whirlwind build a little bit. They whirl around, they get uh, all their fury back really fast, they get all their health back really fast, and I mean you're kind of doing the same thing this way. You saw right there, I just vaulted twice and killed, I don't know, 12, 13 enemies that were lined up. Narrow passages are your friends. When you play against wallers, it's a little bit hard sometimes, but if you can get them to wall themselves in, you will have a field day with them. Here, I'm just looking for the steps to go down. See, over there, I know that's where the waypoint is, and all those monsters over there are just little zombies that are standing in fire, so it's not worth going over there. I'm just vaulting across, trying to find my path. Try to keep my discipline up using that hatred, using that multi-shot spell. Yeah, these monsters here, they just kept respawning. I'm trying to pick all this stuff up. Vault a few times where they spawn at, so they just die when they come up. I ended up finding a lot of stuff on this run, so I had to go back to town real quick, drop it off, go right back in. And just walk past them. Here we make it to the butcher. We're trying to do this as fast as possible, remember, so skip the movie, skip the small monsters, go straight to the butcher and just start vaulting into him and look at his health. Halfway dead. And it's only been, what, 6 seconds? And there you go. That's the end of the run right there. Once you kill the butcher, you can pick up pretty much all his stuff. It's just gonna stay there anyways. So any room you made when you went back to town, go ahead and pick up everything else along the way, and just go back and enjoy identifying your new items and selling them and doing whatever you want. But that's pretty much the run. Uh, I will be posting up an Act 2 Inferno run. Um, with the 1.04 patch, they kind of got rid of some goblin spawns and they fixed a lot of stuff in the game. Exploiting is not going to work anymore for you guys. So we're trying to find you some good legitimate ways to get items and places to get experience, ways to go through it as fast as possible. You know, maybe I'll do a couple barbarian builds. I have a witch doctor I'm kind of leveling up and a monk as well, so maybe we'll make a few of those. But after you finish identifying everything, you know, go through it, of course, and sell whatever you don't need, salvage whatever you don't need if you're trying to craft and you have extra money. But yeah, that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. The human bowling ball is like my favorite thing ever. I swear to you, I don't think I've ever had more fun playing this game than when I'm just kicking monsters in the face and laughing at them as I run away. Like, it's just too good. But you guys have fun, and I hope you enjoyed it.